Here is the tornado that hit Manhattan, Kansas, June 11th, 2008. Here we're going by the car dealership where a friend was going to buy a car with hail damage, which was flipped upside down, and now he's working on getting another few thousand off. They had several cars upside down and on the highway, but they were removed. Here's True Value hardware store, and that was completely demolished. Behind that, there was a self-storage store that was completely wiped out. There were looters because there was a lot of decent stuff in there, and there was cops on scene there that were posted until everybody could come get their stuff. And here's one of the neighborhoods we went through near campus. There's trees uprooted pretty much everywhere. This building over here had its roof ripped off and half of it was gutted. This building here was almost entirely gutted. Over there's a frat house. The roof was picked up and it was moved a few hundred feet down the street, and now we're getting into campus. Over here on the left is where it pretty much hit, right on that building. Some of the glass was actually taken out, but a lot of it survived. There's a lot of power lines down. Right down the road, those power lines they've been working on for a few days. Trees here you can see got uprooted pretty good. Stoplights in most of campus were completely brought down, and then there in the parking lot there were cars flipped upside down and stacked on each other. We couldn't get back there, but we'd got through there the night before everything was closed off. And here we're going through where it had hit out near Ogden. It had ripped a lot of trees out of the ground and done more power damage. And then out here is behind the True Value store we'd been at earlier. There's just a few buildings that were hit pretty minorly compared to what the other buildings took. A lot of the equipment from the hardware store and in these buildings was found about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away near campus, and a lot of it was embedded in the ground in people's yards. Right here you can see in front of us, when the camera goes back by, that's where the tornado had cut through the trees, went over the valley, and then it hit the housing area that we're going to look at in a little bit here. And we thought it was funny. This is called Optimist Park, even though it had just been ravaged by a tornado. And there's insulation stuck all over the trees throughout town, even miles from where the tornado even was. And you can find it stuck in people's hubcaps that are driving by and on top of vans and even in windows. And there's posted security here in one of the other storage areas. They had arrested most of the looters, and any other looters got the crap beat out of them. And this building here didn't get much damage, it just siding got sucked off the walls. And this is the other part of one of the storage facilities. Right in front of here is the direct path of the tornado, which is why nothing's there. Now we're getting into the housing areas that got hit the hardest. In one of these neighborhoods, there's only one house left, and it was pretty much barely standing. Up here is down Amherst Road. This is where we did most of the volunteering to try to help clean up. And it used to be one of the nicer neighborhoods. All the houses with the orange stickers are the ones the city said they'd have to completely rebuild. And some of the houses didn't seem like they'd have to tear them down and rebuild them, but they still slapped the stickers on them because they were, I guess, gutted enough where they had to restart. And here's one of the houses. You can somewhat see it. They had the American flag on top. In this area, Red Cross, Salvation Army, and fire departments set up everywhere, giving out water and Gatorade to everyone, and the Pizza Hut and other restaurants donated pizza to everybody out there working. And down here is one of the last neighborhoods that got tore up good. And in the middle of all this, somebody had a sense of humor and spray painted a wall here that ended up in the street.